Jersey with Ashlea Tracey
on BBC Radio Jersey. Morning, 7 minutes past 8 o'clock, and losing a child is hard enough, but what happens if it happens thousands of miles away and the circumstance surrounding it are questionable in your mind? Well, that's the reality of one Surrey mum who's been dealing with this since the death of her son 6 years ago on the island of Koh Tao. Pat Harrington's son Ben died following a motorbike crash in the Thai island in 2012. He was just 32. She's always questioned the events surrounding it, believing it to be the result of a mugging rather than an accident. It's the same island where Jersey man David Miller's body was found on a beach alongside fellow backpacker Hannah Witheridge from Norfolk. The pair had been beaten to death. Hannah's sister Laura is one of those people who have signed the petition that Pat Harrington is due to present today at Downing Street, calling for the UK government to investigate her son's and 94 other deaths on the holiday island in the past 10 years. Pat's on her way there now. Morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Firstly, tell us about what happened to Ben, Pat, if that's okay.
Oh, hi, Ashley. Yes. Well, Ben went on holiday with one of his brothers and a friend. They stayed in Bangkok for 6 days. They were having a great time. Decided to go to Koh Tao, where they knew somebody who was working in a bar. So off they went on the long travel to Koh Tao, and they met their friend who said, "I've got a lovely villa for you, move in there for a few days. It's on the beach and wonderful views." So they did that, and they just settled in, and then the evening came, and Ben and the friend decided to go into town. Mark, my other son, decided he was a bit tired and wanted to just sit and take a look at the beautiful views there. So Ben and Chris went off into town. They had to go down a very, very long dark road to get there. Ben then forgot something, so he went back to the villa, and then he made his way back to the town, but never made it. His body was found about midnight by some passers-by in a ditch, and he had no belongings left on him. His wallet was gone, his watch was gone, everything that he had been taken off of him. And that's the story.
What was it like when you found out the news, Pat? I can't even begin to imagine.
No, it was awful. When the phone went, it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and my son Mark's name came up, and I had actually said to them before they went, I gave them the plastic security tags to put on their backpacks because of people putting drugs and things in their backpacks, and I said, make sure when you're not with that bag that the security tag is on it. And I thought that's what had happened. Somebody had planted some drugs, they'd been caught, and as the story goes, that wasn't the case. Mark just said, he was crying. He said, "I'm so sorry, Mum." So I said, "Well, what's wrong? What's happened?" And he just said, "Ben's dead." I was just in complete shock. I just paced up and down the bedroom and just kept talking to myself, not actually believing it.
Yeah. And you've been looking for answers, haven't you? You found that difficult?
I have. Yes. It was about a year after that I started to see a pattern over there of young boys and girls dying, and their parents are also questioning why they died. And, suicides and accidents and, lots of things, but they just don't add up. And we've now got together a group of mums and dads, and we've just got a name for ourselves called Mama, which is Mothers Against Murders Abroad. We are all going to Downing Street this afternoon. We're meeting up with my MP, Crispin Blunt, who's been absolutely marvellous. He's supporting us all the way. Last week there was a adjournment by a Scottish MP, Hannah Bardell, who actually brought this to the fore, requesting the Foreign Office to actually help with all these suspicious deaths. Yeah. And I think she's done a really good job.
And Jersey man David Miller is one of those who was murdered on the island of Koh Tao alongside Norfolk woman Hannah Witheridge, and her sister Laura is one of those that have signed this petition. Tell us about the petition, how much contact you've had with Laura.
I've had quite a bit of contact with Laura. We text each other quite often. She is very much with us on this. There are lots of suspicious deaths, and she doesn't believe, like the rest of us, that the Burmese boys actually killed her sister. I know David's parents feel different, but, you know, we can only go by what we see and hear. So Hannah's sister, Laura, is with us all the way, and she may be coming this afternoon, I'm not quite sure.
And so what are you hoping that the petition is going to achieve? You've got close to 15,000 signatures, I understand.
We have, yes. We basically want the government to issue strict travel warnings when travelling to Thailand in particular, because Thailand is the second highest country of British deaths. Spain is the highest. We want our children's bodies to be brought back intact, if that is the correct word. We don't mind them having a post-mortem out there, but if they could video it and send all of their organs back with our loved ones, because some of the parents' children have come back without some of their organs, which is really, really upsetting. In my case, that didn't happen with Ben. We don't want cremations abroad. Within 2 hours of Ben's death, they wanted to cremate him. And I had to literally shout at the Home Office over here because the Foreign Office in Bangkok just wouldn't answer the phone. My son kept phoning them, I kept phoning them, and there was just no answer.
We spoke to the government, we asked the government for a response, and they pointed us in the direction of some information that they published before, which says we cannot investigate crimes because we cannot interfere in another country's process and must respect their systems just as we expect them to respect the UK's laws and legal processes. What's your reaction to that?
They can investigate them, but they probably can't take over the whole investigation. I mean, going back to Madeleine McCann in Portugal, the police went out there. They did lots of investigations, so why can't they do it for our children?
How much of a difference do you think it would make?
It would make a huge difference. It would make people think before they go there. I don't want to stop people going to Thailand. It's a beautiful place, and I've always wanted to visit myself. But these youngsters need to be mindful of what is going on out there. They need to go out in pairs, not singly, because most of these suspicious deaths happen when they're on their own.
And what are you hoping that will happen today when you hand the petition over?
I'm hoping the government will take action. We've written a plan of what we want them to do, and that is going in the box of signatures. And we're hoping that they're just actually going to look at this and join Hannah Bardell, the MP for Scotland, in taking this forward.
And if you could speak to Ben again before he set off, what would you say to him?
The same as what I said to him when he went, please be careful, please don't go out on your own, please stay together, which is exactly what I said to him.
Pat, thank you for your time this morning. Good luck today. She's heading to Parliament to hand over a petition calling on the UK to investigate the 94 deaths on the island of Koh Tao in Thailand. In the past 10 years or so, Pat Harrington lost her son, Ben, there in 2012.